if I go back to where we'd started, and that was the crises that we're facing in the world today, the financial, the political, the family, the religious, the environmental, there's a list of them. I see all of those as actually being spiritual crises. And if we were to resolve the spiritual crisis, I think everything else would fall into the right place. We'd be able to deal with all of those things, absolutely. Why I say that is because somebody would say that, the environmental crisis is because we've been totally commercialized and we haven't given anyone an understanding that nature is to be respected or even that nature is sacred. Well, that's a spiritual statement. All the political crises that we're thinking about and the injustice that seems to be happening, again, to me, it's because our moral compass is not aligned. We're not understanding where it is we need to go and what our destination really is. The financial crisis is absolutely human-created, where we've got this big division between the have and the have-nots. So just looking at all of these things, I see how coming back to a spiritual consciousness resolves these things for me personally, but also I think there's a lot of good that's happening in the world that is being released at the present moment. On one level I see the descending energy and the darkness increasing, but on the other side I see the ascending energy. And so the choice that I make when I'm spiritually conscious and aware is, which part do I want to be part of? Do I want to be part of the descending darkness, or do I want to be part of the ascending energy of light? And then it's many, many organizations, many individuals who are being inspired to do that which is good, which reminds me that there is that original goodness within all of us, and we're all coming back to that. And so spiritually, what happens when I go through that transformation of shifting my awareness from being just limited matter to being a spiritual entity, in this awareness, then I realize my responsibility to myself, my responsibility to others, and to the world at large. And so in the awareness of the soul, in my connection with the divine, what happens is that I'm getting in touch with my own inner goodness. And now my responsibility is to share goodness with those whom I meet, whether it's my immediate family, whether it's the people at work, or my neighbor, whoever that neighbor happens to be. And so the proof of my transformation, of this change of consciousness from material and limited to being spiritual and unlimited, is that there's a behavior change. There's a change in terms of my values and the expression of my values in my life. If I accept that the original state of being of the soul is peace, and I can feel that, because when I come back to my state of peace through inner consciousness, then I feel very comfortable. And when I'm in a state of anger, neither is my mind comfortable, nor is my body comfortable. There's all sorts of things happening in the body that indicate that the body is totally in a state of chaos and disharmony. And so peace is natural. It's my original state, and it's good for the soul, it's good for the body, and it's good for everyone else around me. So if I hold that as being a truth, that that which is natural and original is comfortable, it applies to love. Being in an atmosphere of love, hours can go by. An atmosphere in which you feel antagonism or anything negative, you want to run out of the door, you don't want to stay there. So peace, love, truth, joy, purity, this is the original goodness of the human spirit. And so transformation means wherever I'm at my journey now, it means coming back to that original state of goodness once more. And the only way that I've been able to achieve any transformation, and it's also my observation of many, many others, is that you need power. Think about any habit that you've wanted to change, whether it's cigarettes or whether it's coffee, anything. It needs a lot of power inside. Willpower, sometimes we use this expression, my intention, my will has to be that strong. I need that inner capacity, and that comes from the divine. I don't think the human spirit can generate that sort of power on its own. Yes, I have the pure intention of coming back to that original state, but the power that's going to help me make that journey is meditation and the connection with the divine. And that brings about the transformation. And it's visible. People used to tell me, you're an angry person. And today they're telling me, how come you're able to be so calm? Or anything else that I see needs adjustment and changing in my life. It should be visible not only to me, because that's my imagination maybe, it should be visible to my family, to my friends, people who love me and know me or don't love me, but know me. If I want to experience spiritual power in my life, if I want to experience that transformation and a return to my own original goodness, then I have to be a little bit disciplined. It's not a word that people like anymore, but I think it's part of the whole journey from just a practice, but to actually make it my life. Beginning the day with the right consciousness is very important. So to get up a little bit earlier, because the day doesn't allow the opportunity for real silence or time for the self in that way. And so I need to make time for myself in the morning. I need to make time at the end of the day to be able to do an audit for the self. How did I manage? How did I do? Was I able to do what I had planned to do? How did I learn? What did I learn? And so to be able to formulate questions that are going to be helpful for me, and it could be different questions for different people, but a very simple question is this: could I have done something differently? Not even better, not even worse, but could I have done something differently? I think that's a very important entry point to be able to explore what I've been doing through the day. So there's the morning and the evening, but through the day, if I can have little reminders to myself, and a very simple reminder is every time I hydrate the body or I feed the body, am I able to hydrate my mind? Am I able to give it the water of love, silence in which I can again connect with myself and feel that inner being that I am? It's a very, very simple way. We're told 8 times water. Well, maybe it's 4 times, maybe it's 6 times, but whatever it is, it's a signal, it's a reminder for the self. And if you start creating those little signals for you, then you keep your consciousness at a higher level. And of course, if 1 minute I spend connecting with my inner peace, then maybe prior to that I was getting a bit stressed, but I become peaceful, the next 59 minutes are more likely to be peaceful. Otherwise we get so engrossed in our work that we forget. And so little reminders for the self are very, very valuable. It's very easy to meditate using the power of the mind and allowing the mind to flow towards the divine. So I'll speak out my own thoughts in meditation and invite everyone to join me. I let the body sit quietly, and I can feel the body relaxing, my breath becoming deeper, and now I focus on my thoughts. The speed of my thoughts has slowed down. And I focus on the inner being that I am. I am a being of light, shining in the center of the forehead. This body is separate. I, the inner being, am separate. I existed before the body took shape, and I will continue to exist even after the body finishes. No beginning, no end. I, the eternal spirit, and in this awareness of who I truly am, my thoughts focus on the divine, a being of light, the supreme.